Hello, Teacher Kim here, and welcome back to my channel. So, I have to teach in not quite 20 minutes. I have everything ready except for my shirt. I don't feel like putting it on yet. So, I wanted to answer a question that I have been asked, oh my gosh, countless times. What's it like to teach adults? I've talked about adults in the past and the differences a little bit. This is strictly what's it like. Teaching adults is like talking with your friends. If you've ever talked on the phone with your friends, video chatted with your friends, it's kind of the same thing. The biggest difference is you cannot see them. Now, with children, with iTutorGroup, with VIPKid, with GoGoKid, you can always see the student. With iTutorGroup, the students can choose if they want their camera on or not if they're children. But with adults, there are no camera options. You only see yourself. You see a little list of names, and it tells you their names, and you can mute them, and you can turn on their pins, which with adults I don't generally turn on pins. It's easier just to write numbers and to draw a line myself and have them name the numbers out. Personal preference, I find a lot of them are on their cell phones, and their cell phones do not have the capability of letting them draw on it, only if they're on an iPad or a computer. So since I can't tell if they're on a cell phone or an iPad, it just shows a little camera looking icon, phone looking icon. I can't tell the difference. I try to just be proactive, and I only have them draw lines. But that's the biggest difference, is you can't see them. You can hear them, just like a phone call. Now, yes, you can see yourself, but once you've taught online for a little while, you're used to seeing yourself, and you really don't pay yourself that much attention. Like, I know I'm here. Right now I'm talking to myself. Like, I literally am looking at myself in the eye because it gives me eye contact and it looks really cool in the camera. But if I'm talking to the adults, I'm not looking straight at that. I'm looking at the materials on the screen. So, and I do try to look into the camera or look at myself like this some, but I tend to look right here where I am now on my screen, which actually is where my materials would go. So, yeah, so you just are teaching them that. Now, lower level adults, same as lower level kids, simple phrases, simple words, explain yourself, use pictures, use props, use TPR if needed. A lot of times you can show them a picture or a little GIF and it helps them understand it. I have used TPR with adults and they understand. It helps them to understand. If you're teaching them jump, teach them jump. You know, it's not that hard to do. Make sure I'm staying covered. It's easier than and showing them a picture of jumping or taking a toy and jump. Simple things like that, which again, they know the word in their language. It's not the lack of knowledge, it's the lack of knowing it in English. Just like if we are reading another language that we don't know, we're not going to know just because we know what it means in our language. My hair is wild tonight. Doesn't mean we're going to know what the translation. So it's the same idea. We don't understand them any more than they understand us in that sense. So we use pictures, we use props, we use toys, we use whatever we need to help show what we're learning. This is where, for me personally, I don't like keeping a lot of props. I don't want to have to constantly be grabbing. And you never know if you're going to teach a word that's outside of the lesson. In any company, you could teach a word that there's not there and you need to be able to show it, and you may not have a prop available. This is where Manicam comes into effect for me. If I'm teaching, for instance, I'm teaching kangaroo tonight. So I throw a picture up of a kangaroo. The kangaroo can hop. You're seeing the motion. I'm using my actual pen, but you can't see that. So it makes it really cool. We can talk about the kangaroo. We can talk about the kangaroo's tail, how it has short legs, long legs for hopping, how it has big ears. Lots of things to teach. This is why I really, really like Manicam. Not that you need it, it just helps me be a better teacher. It helps me to explain concepts. If there's a concept that I can't explain easily, like ski. You do like this, or do like that, but it's hard to understand ski. Oh, look. Psh, ski. And it all of a sudden clicks. So with adults, with lower level adults and with lower level children, props and digital props, physical props, they help a lot. Higher level adults are, oh, that's like my bread and butter. That's my jam. That's amazing. I love the higher level adults. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the lower levels, but it's so hard to not use incidental language with lower level learners. With children, I can be goofy, silly, and all that. With adults, we have to kind of rein it in a little bit. I'm still goofy, I'm still silly, but I do try to rein it in a little because they are adults and you don't want to treat them the same as I would treat a 4-year-old. I do use props. I do use TPR, and that does help. And then I show pictures. I have a way on my computer that I can show pictures off of the internet that I can look up really quickly. With higher levels, though, they understand. You get to a level 12 student, which iTutor goes from level 1 to level 12. So you get to a level 12 student, and it's just like talking to a native speaker almost. There are a few pronunciation errors. There are a few words they don't know. Keep in mind, though, most native English speakers do not know every word in the dictionary. I don't. Do you? No. So you're going to come across words they don't know. You explain them, but it's so much easier because I can have a conversation with them. I enjoy both, but I'll promise you when I see them level 12s on my schedule, even if I have all 6 students in my class, well, one, I know I'm going to go over because that many level 12s, they all can talk. They all like to talk. But it's so much easier. But not the point. Point is teaching adults. Adults are easy in that sense. The hardest part is management in the classroom management. For me personally, what I do when I start class, I tell them we're going to mute, all right, with higher levels, we're going to mute everyone. When it's your turn, I will unmute you and you can read, speak, answer the question, and then we're going to mute you again to make sure that if you're doing something while you're listening and learning, it doesn't distract everyone else. I have never, so far, year and a half, more than that now, never had an issue with an adult when I tell them why I'm doing it. I don't just mute. If you just mute, they're going to unmute and they're going to ask why, or they're going to be questioning you. If you say, before class starts, when you start in class, when you're introducing yourself, okay, so I'm going to mute us all so that you can hear me and I can hear you. They are wonderful. They don't mind at all. With lower level adults, I tried to explain that, but if they don't understand, or if it's a simpler lesson, I will leave them unmuted. If there's not a lot of background noise, I will leave them unmuted and let them just call out answers. I found with lower levels, they're wanting to practice a lot, so if I can mute them, that helps not to have them saying ski, ski, ski while the other person is trying to talk. Doesn't always work that way, but sometimes. But muting is your best friend, and that's why I enjoy that I can mute the sounds for them, and then we can hear each other. I find, like I said, telling them the truth, being honest, it helps. I am down to where I can teach my class and be done right at 45 now. It took me time to get there. So if you are a new adult teacher, okay, here's my tip, my biggest tip for that. Look at your slide number. If you have, let's say 15 slides and a 45-minute class, I want to be about 5 slides per 15 minutes. If there's a lot of content toward the end, then I need to make sure I kind of speed up at the beginning and give more time at the end. If there's more content at the beginning, I adjust that way. I look at my slides and just see the amount of content. I always spend extra time on vocabulary. Vocabulary is key. The rest of the class is practicing using the vocabulary. It's not about the topics. Remember, it's about the words. So I will spend extra time on the vocabulary with adults, especially to help them grasp the concept. And once they've gotten it, we can practice, 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 and we got it. Again, I've never been rated poorly if I spend extra time on vocabulary. I have been rated poorly when I hurried the whole class along and didn't keep going. That's the problem with lower level adults. They are not going to tell you they don't understand, but they will rate you lowly if they don't. So make sure you take the time to go over each and every vocabulary. Let each and every speaker say the words. Let each and every one of them practice it. Anyway, I kind of rambled in this. I wasn't trying to. I really was trying just to tell you my tips. But I do have class. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you do with adults, what you would do, if this helped you, if it doesn't, if you think there's some better ideas. Let me know. I'm always open to learn, and I'll see you next time. Bye.